This is PenDust Radio. Short stories, riveting fiction, and wildly creative nonfiction. Definitely not the same old story.
My agent at the time asked me to participate in an anthology, to write a story specifically for an anthology of what apparently is known as border noir. This is sort of mystery sort of stuff that takes place along the U.S.-Mexico border. Apparently this is an entire genre I didn't know. And anyway, so she was going to have, it didn't end up going into the anthology, but this was where it came from. So I thought, okay, what the heck, I don't usually go for genre stuff, but I'll have some fun with it and maybe put, a little sort of signature twist on it. Mac is based on a real person. The main character of MacFarland's is Mac McCune, as he describes himself, a drunk bum trumpet player. And he's down on his luck, and he's looking to pull himself out of a tailspin, so to speak. And he makes his way sort of cross country to sort of reunite with an old flame of his in San Diego. He's a deep artist. I mean, he really wanted to plumb some real artistic depths, but he also wanted to have fun. I mean, he liked fun, he would say, and which was probably how he got started down the wrong path of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, so to speak, except in his case, it was sex, drugs, and jazz. So, and it wasn't drugs, it was just alcohol. But at any rate, I think it's probably a common story for musicians. But I think the twist is Mac just felt things and thought about things a little bit more deeply than you would expect, I think, from your average crazy musician. Probably a whole lot less in this case than I normally do. I mean, I think maybe there are a few writers out there who are not sort of terminally self-involved, but not very many. I think most of us get into this business because we're trying to figure out what the heck the world means to us, and we're trying to understand maybe why we do what we do, or we're plumbing our own depths, so to speak. And I think it was actually a release for me to write a character that had very little to do with me, and that was based so heavily on somebody that I actually knew. And that was, I kind of got to have a little bit more fun than the sort of, morbid enterprise that writers are usually engaged in when they're writing about themselves and trying to figure out the mysteries in their own lives. So I would say, ultimately, not a whole lot of me in Mac. Have I ever ridden in a boxcar? I have never ridden in a boxcar, but I know somebody who has. A friend of mine's college-age son just went bumming, riding boxcars across the western part of the U.S. A couple summers ago, and went the whole way. Got the tattoo of a train on his leg, and I mean, man, he was into it. So that was long after I had written MacFarland's, so I didn't know him at the time, but I gotta say, I don't think it's something I'm gonna jump up to volunteer for anytime soon, but I'm sure he's got some great stories. in my day job, at the time, I was a diplomat, and as is my wife still. And so I tend to write things that one way or another sort of wend their way around to the lives of diplomats, and maybe the surprising things about their lives, and the things that you wouldn't, that aren't sort of stereotypical about diplomats, but that are their lives as we experience them. And so I knew that I wanted to throw in a little twist about that. And so that's how we get a Norwegian diplomat who finds his way into the story. And to be honest, I got to give my wife a little credit about some of the real twists and turns, and sort of where the bodies are buried in the story, or I guess where the bodies aren't buried in the story, to give that little clue. I like writing short stories a lot. I like the sort of quick hit of it. Almost, not that I would know, I'm not a drug user, but it is almost like a sort of a real quick high of language and bang, quick character sketch, and it's a lot of fun in that sense. And you don't have to do. I have written novels, but man, is that a lot of work? And I'm fundamentally too lazy for that. I really got to find something that I'm committed to in order to put in the work to bring to concrete reality all of the stuff that has to be there for you to believe a novel. In a short story, it's so much more a sketch. And the bold lines, I mean, if you think about it, it is, compared to visual arts, the bold lines are powerful, and they give you that thrill right away, really quickly. And you don't have to work maybe quite so much to, mix the perfect color of ochre for it all to tie together the way you have to do, in a novel. So yeah, I really like writing short stories. It was amazing to hear my story read. I was, to be honest, I was not sure how it was going to come out at first. I was like, are they going to have multiple people, reading the different parts? And but Tom Zingarelli, who did the reading, did the recording, was fantastic. He's just outstanding, and I loved the nuance, the texture, and just the fun, just the energy that he brought. It was so much more fun than I ever could have imagined. I would love for more people to experience more of my stories that way.
PenDust Radio. Definitely not the same old story. Please visit us at PenDustRadio.com.